Yeah, I think it's been a pleasant surprise how much of this kind of startup tool set works in a company like Wayfair, making this push to kind of take things to the next level.
You've been to different roles, also in leadership positions. And apart from knowing me, what brought you to Wayfair?
We've established a certain market dominance, especially in the US. We're starting to dip our toe into profitability. And I think we're kind of making a big professionalization push right now. And I think one thing I noticed when I was interviewing with Wayfair was, so Wayfair is the first company I've worked for in 10 years of more than 200 people. Mm-hmm. And I think it's been a really pleasant surprise how much of kind of the toolbox that I assembled kind of working in these small startups also works in a big company context. So I think, yeah, it's been a pleasant surprise how much of this kind of startup tool set works in a company like Wayfair, making this push to kind of take things to the next level. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So you just mentioned that your experience in smaller companies were relevant for Wayfair. What advice do you have for the product managers who might be working for a smaller company and want to apply at Wayfair? What skills and capabilities are necessary?
Yeah. I think the things that make you successful in a small company, in a startup environment, in a very entrepreneurial environment will also make you successful at Wayfair. So those are the kinds of things we look for. Real kind of product management, best practices, things like kind of communicating a vision to your team, kind of putting together OKRs, putting together roadmaps to show, okay, this is what we're doing this quarter to make progress towards this vision, which is very similar to the way we all work in startups. I think the biggest difference is just the relationship we have with our stakeholders is a bit different, especially now in Corona times. You're not kind of sitting in a small office with everybody. You do have kind of a wider circle of people you kind of have to keep up to date and establish these kind of transparency rituals for. Mm-hmm. So there's a certain kind of communication style and kind of a certain way of putting together buy-in that's maybe a little bit different than the startups I've worked in. So that's been kind of the biggest difference, and that's something we tend to zero in on interviews as well.